side of the cross, then you go up a level, and then you go around that side of the cross, and then go down a level. I'm not really explaining this too well. I don't know how to like.
I'm trying to visualize this.
You kind of make you start at an end, you go towards the middle and turn left, right?
Okay.
And then let's say you're on the lower level. Then you go up a level. Then you go.
Can you draw me a diagram?
Yes, I could. I'd like to do that. The break. Then you go up a level. Then you're basically making like a lap around it, but you're like alternating with
And
the
then you
level.
go back down.
So
to
you're basically
hit the
going
stores
around twice.
Yeah.
But you're
Turn
alternating
left.
where you're up or down.
You're efficient.
Yes.
Yes, much
so
more efficient.
You don't go down and back and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Like Headband Sadiq Bey. You're way more efficient.
Yes.
I love it.
So this is how long it's been since I've been in the mall. And some of this obviously is pandemic related.
Right.
Some of it's just me related because I hate malls. The Saunders store is no longer there at 12 Oaks. And that was the selling point. And now my kids obviously weren't there yesterday, but they used to say, pre-pandemic, Dad, let's go to the mall. We need to go. We need some new leggings. We need, blah, blah, blah. And that's basically what I would hear until they would say, you could go hang out at the Saunders store. Hey, who wants a ride? Let's go.
John's posted up.
And so my wife and I are walking through 12 Oaks yesterday, and I'm like, I'm sitting there going, yes, all right, Saunders, right around the corner, Saunders. And I turn, and there it is, except it's not. It broke my heart. Absolutely broke my heart.
What percentage of your Christmas shopping is mall versus online? Like, Heather, I know you're basically done, right?
I'm done, but I haven't been to a mall. I like shopping in person, but I do a lot of little local stores.
In
more than
3.8
I haven't been
miles,
to a mall.
take a slight right turn onto Pontiac
in a
Trail.
long time.
I haven't been during the holiday. We did it all. And I mean, it's everyone's generation. I like to go and try stuff on.
It depends
if it's
what
for
you're
me, but if it's for somebody else, I'm not bringing them to try it on. So you can save some time and have it dropped off right to your door. But it's situational. I do know people are still flocking to the mall. That's why I was curious what you were seeing.
I would say most of mine is actually probably mall or store shopping instead of online.
I did go to a store that I really have never been in. I mean, I've been in it, but I never shopped there. I went to Kohl's over the weekend. Oh my gosh, the line
On the weekend, I bet.
wrapped around the back of the store, and I thought, well, I'm not going to make it because I have to pee every 2 seconds. So I literally, I left my husband in line. I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. By the time I got back to the bathroom, it had moved significantly. But it's crazy because there was a huge coupon. Everyone's got their Kohl's cash out, and it was just wild.
You got to have some kind of perks, though, as a pregnant woman, right? Like, can you flex a little bit and be like, actually, I was in line, I had to pee. Nobody wants to tell the pregnant woman that she has to go to the back of the line.
I'm waddling by everyone.
You got to milk that for what she got. I mean, use what she got.
I took advantage of my first pregnant parking spot, the expected mother spot. So I'm like, okay, I can still move. I don't have any issues.
there's no shame in it.
But I did take advantage of that over the weekend for the very first time, yes.
That's how we told my parents for one of the original four.
Oh, really?
That we were expecting. My mom was in the car with us, and we just parked in the expected mother parking spot, and she was like, wait, why are you parking here?
Now, here's the thing. Now, expecting mothers can be a vague term. So, are you expecting, can
Like
it
at
be
some point in your life, you expect to be a mother?
There's not a line. Think about it.
It's like a woman who's single, but she's like, someday I want to be a mom, so I'm going to pull up.
Yes.
Expecting to be one day, yeah.
Well said, Greg.
6:35, we're going to use our inside voices. Something that's gone so well for the Lions. Could it come to an end this season? We will get to that at 6:35. John, we had a couple football games last night, and I know it just brings in joy, a tear to your eyes. We did doubleheader last night, doubleheader tonight.
I mean, who doesn't love getting home at about 5 o'clock and being able to turn the TV on and watch Monday Night Football, and then once you get done with that one at 8:20 starts game 2. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's terrific. And tonight we get the same damn thing. It's outstanding. We should have football like
Every single night in Kansas.
Yes.
Last night, the two
Stay in
games.
left
Did anything
lane.
stand out to you? Like, I mean, they were not great football games, if I'm being honest. The first one, both teams are dealing with an interim coach. One team's on their third string quarterback. And that arguably was more watchable than what Matt Nagy's Chicago Bears have been putting out for this season.
Oh, it was terrible. I mean, but the only thing that was good about the Bears versus the Vikings was the fact that it was, some people like to use the term chippy. It was a chippy game. There were a number of different occasions where there were some a few scuffles. Extracurricular activities is the words I was looking for. Thank you, Mr. Hargrave.
That's what the play-by-play guy would like to say.
Yes, it was fun to watch at least, and then Raiders-Browns. So it comes down to 2 seconds left. I think maybe there was 3 seconds on the clock, and it was did the Browns call the timeout in time? The kick was good, and then the Raiders line up again, and they just absolutely drill it. It was a good game in and of itself. So I thought it was a good night of football.
Is Nagy going to be fired like today? Do you think it's the end of the season? Because it did feel like that later game, the Bears-Vikings, was a bit of a loser leaves town. If Zimmer would have lost, his seat is hot as well. They would have been in a tough spot to make the playoffs. And obviously the Bears, I think it's 8 of the last 9. I mean, Nagy's not surviving this season. It does feel like if they were going to do it, today could be one of the days.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I think it's 6:35. All right. Our inside voices. I think we also go through the list of expectant coaches.
Okay.
What they are expecting. And
so if you're an expecting coach, do you have preferential parking at the mall?
Yes.
Heather's got news coming up next. Heather, what's going on?
You keep mentioning inside voices, which makes me think of my teaching days when I would tell all the kids to use their inside voice.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened to that teacher we actually talked about yesterday that wrote those threatening notes, allegedly. I've got an update on her.
I don't know if I want it, but okay, 97.1.
Hey, the holidays are here, and FanDuel Sportsbook has a gift for all new customers. No, it's not a new pair of slippers or a new tie. We're talking about 30-to-1 odds on any Christmas Day NBA or NFL game. Just sign up on FanDuel Sportsbook and bet on any team to win any of the 7 marquee matchups taking place on Christmas. And if your bet wins, you'll be paid out 30 times your wager. That's right, you can turn a $5 bet into $150. NBA on Christmas Day, that's their big kickoff to the rest of the season. Take a look at the Nets. They're traveling to LA to take on the Lakers. Kevin Durant. I don't think that there's any way the Lakers keep this one close. Take a look at the Nets and see if you can turn just a simple $5 bet into $150. There's no better place to bet the college football championship than on America's #1 sports book. It's a simple and easy app to use. It's safe and secure. They're always offering new game day opportunities for you. And when you win, FanDuel's going to get you paid in as little as 2 hours. Don't miss your chance to win $150 on a $5 bet. Sign up with promo code Jansen to place your first FanDuel Sportsbook wager on any NBA or NFL Christmas Day game for exclusive 30-to-1 odds. Exclusively on FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 97.1 The Ticket. Must be 21 or over and present. Michigan new users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus of $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJE and 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers. The roads are clear this morning. No accidents or slowdowns. Coming up a bit later on, there's some construction scheduled to close south on 75 exit ramp to Clark Street in southwest Detroit until mid-January. Whether you're north, south, east, or west, your Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers are in your neighborhood and ready to put you in the driver's seat of the best-selling family of SUVs in Metro Detroit. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie. The type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you a fan of Twin Peaks? Sign up for our e-club to stay up to date on all things Twin Peaks and score free stuff. Signing up is easy. Just visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/peaks-club to sign up today.
At Huntington, we've been asking ourselves, is it possible to lend money at 0 interest?
And it totally is. Introducing Standby Cash. When you need extra cash, you can qualify for between $100 and $1,000 at Huntington. And it's free when you auto pay us back across 3 months. Why would a bank do that? Just to look out for people. That's how we reinvent banking. Huntington, welcome. Without automatic payments, 12% APR. Eligibility requirements apply. Amount available is based on customer eligibility. Learn more at huntington.com/standbycash.
Are you thinking about selling your home, but worried you missed the hot summer market? Hi, this is Mark Z with eXp, and you could not have picked a better time of the year than right now to sell your home. While most sellers have given up, my clients are getting multiple offers. I'm not bragging, I'm applying for the job. Call me, Mark Z, at 844-SOLD-BY-Z and start packing.
Mercy Health Plus St. Joe's. Find access. A health system spanning 8 hospitals plus 327 healthcare facilities across Michigan, caring for more than a century. Find innovation, expert doctors, state-of-the-art technology, modern facilities, plus unparalleled compassion. From West Michigan to Metro Detroit, for every stage of healthcare across every corner of the communities we serve. As members of Trinity Health, find power in the plus.
97.1 The Ticket and Ellison Brewery have teamed up. Introducing the Ticket American Lager and the Ticket Double Dry Hopped Hazy Pale Ale. Look for them on tap near you. Must be 21. Enjoy responsibly.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
For your South Pole. Charmin keeps your undies whiter than the North Pole. Shiny, hiney, a brand new year. Come to Charmin, happy new year. They say Charmin, clean and clean and right. They all gotta be Charmin clean white.
Charmin Ultra Strong just cleans better. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
At Lowe's Winterfest, find the gifts to make more holiday. Like savings on select appliance special values, plus free local delivery over $396. Or save $60 on the DeWalt 20-volt Max brushless drill kit. Was $159, now $99. Make your season twice as nice, twice as merry at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Appliance offer restrictions and other fees may apply. See store for details while supplies last. Valid through 12/22. U.S. only.
If you're looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle, look no further. Hi friends, Bill Dowling here for Dowling Buick GMC in Lake Orion. Each C-Fob is given a 172-point inspection. If it doesn't pass muster, we won't sell it. And everyone is also backed by 2 GM limited warranties, one of which covers the powertrain for 6 years, 100,000 miles with 0 deductible. Plus, they also come with roadside assistance, alternate transportation, 2 scheduled maintenance, and more. We have a good selection to choose from. That's Dowling Buick GMC in Lake Orion. Learn more online at dowlingbg.com.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. This holiday season, invest in some LED Christmas lights. They use significantly less energy than regular bulbs. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Do you have an opinion? Of course you do. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. To D Las Vegas, the home of Detroit sports in Vegas.
TJ Lang joins the Valenti Show with Rico, Fridays at 4 on 97.1 The Ticket. Brought to you by National Bank.
Heather coming up with the news. Heather, what's going on?
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that teacher I talked about yesterday. This St. Clair Shores art teacher could actually face up to 20 years behind bars after she allegedly wrote and then passed out threatening notes at Jefferson Middle School. This happened on Friday. This 59-year-old teacher was arraigned on Monday on 1 count of felony false report of threat of terrorism. Now,
it's the word John used yesterday. He's right. I mean,
she says this story is not true. So we'll obviously have to wait and see what happens.
But she said she was on camera.
Yes, so that's the thing. They used a school security camera to see who was slipping these notes under the doors of 3 different classrooms. So according to the school officials, the teacher, like I said, wrote 3 notes containing threatening language in a classroom, in a library, and a media center. And one of the notes read, Start break early. He's gonna do it. Just don't be in the hall after lunch. Boom. Get it?
Given everything that's gone on with schools lately, like I suppose it could be interpreted differently, but come on. You read those and you know what that's about, especially when you're slipping it under doors, especially in the climate we're in. Yes. I don't know that there's much of a defense for her.
I don't know either. Now, she had bond set at $75,000. She was also placed under house arrest with GPS tether until she can undergo an assessment to determine whether she poses any threat to the public. Now, she is a teacher. She'd been teaching there for 21 years.
Oh, so she's not a new teacher, young teacher. This is a veteran teacher.
A veteran teacher who doesn't have any serious complaints against her from whether it's students, parents, or other colleagues. So
there's got to be more to the story.
There's got to be. So there's a lot of questions. Obviously, they saw these videos of her slipping these notes under the door. Was other people involved? Did she
know what
write
was
the
written
notes?
on the notes?
Right. Was she handing out notes given to her by somebody else? Was there other teachers or students involved in all of this? But oh my gosh, it's a serious charge. Let's talk about Dylan Larkin. He actually spilled a fan's beer earlier this week. And instead of, just leaving that fan hanging, he decided to buy the guy a new one. This is great. So this happened during their win over the Islanders last Tuesday. And he knocked over the beer of a fan who was sitting right behind the net. He bumped into the glass. This was during warm-ups. And there's actually video of it, and Larkin was mic'd at the time, so you can hear what he says, but he felt so bad. He skated over to the bench, and he asked the Wings locker room attendant if he could borrow $20 so he could get the fan a new beer. And shortly later in the video, you see this locker room attendant go over to that fan and deliver the $20 bill.
Oh, I can't handle it. Sorry. Oh no. Oh no. I feel terrible. Yeah, sorry. Hey.
Stay in the
Where's
middle lane.
Zippy. You got your wallet on you? Yeah. You got $20? I think so. I got $20 in my dry cell. I knocked over the guy's beer. Yeah, what? I knocked over the guy's beer. I feel bad. Right behind the net. See him? In the red wing sweatshirt. First row.
So descriptive.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Oh, the guy in the Red Wing jersey. Why didn't you say so? This poor guy's walking around handing 20s to everybody.
Exactly. But still, what a nice gesture.
Very cool.
To make sure that he repaid that fan after spilling his beer. I thought that was pretty cool.
I hope 20 covered it.
The way they are these days.
Yeah.
I think it did. Gary Payton, the second last week. Now Dylan Larkin this week.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a rash of athletes. Oops, sorry, spilled your beer. But let me go to the equipment guy and give him some
equipment guys everywhere.
Well, mic'd up.
Keep cash on you.
Yep. So a day after delivering his best performance of the season, Lions quarterback Jared Goff has come down with COVID. So he, along with Matt Nelson, has been placed on the COVID reserve list. All right. That was on Monday, and it makes them the 11th and 12th players of the team that they've lost to the virus in the past 15 days.
Oh, just keeps on going.
Now, the new policy, Goff isn't necessarily out this week.
Right, because the policy changed. So previously, players were required to quarantine for at least a minimum of 10 days, and vaccinated players could return sooner if they provided 2 negative COVID tests at least 24 hours apart. But now, vaccinated players, which he is, can clear protocol as soon as a day after they test positive for the virus, as long as they are asymptomatic and their viral load is above a certain benchmark.
Okay.
So, we'll have to see.
Yeah. I'm guessing later today, since that news broke yesterday, I'm guessing later today we should have at least an answer or update on if he clears the new protocol.
Yep. This is pretty cool. There's a McDonald's employee in Minnesota who sprang into action when she noticed a customer in distress. This girl, 15 years old, right? She was working the drive-thru when she noticed that a woman in the car that was at the drive-thru was choking. This woman had her daughter in the car. The daughter was visibly like, oh my goodness, what do I do? She told the daughter, well, first, she jumped through the drive-thru window. She wasted no time to run out and run through the main door. She went through the drive-thru window. She told the woman's daughter to call 911, and then she was able to pull this woman out of her car and started to do the Heimlich maneuver. She said she learned it in her first aid class, but the thing was that she wasn't, 15 years old, wasn't strong enough to really perform it properly. So she was able to flag down a bystander in the parking lot who came over and helped, and they saved this woman's life. She was choking on a chicken McNugget. Pretty darn cool, though.
Well, it's an awesome story. I mean, Brave stepped up and saved somebody's life.
And what's great is that police did show up. The daughter called 911, and they ended up giving this girl $100 for her just selflessness and knowing what to do at the time. Apparently, these officers, they're each given $50 to do with whatever they want. If they notice somebody doing a
heroic act,
yeah, they can give that person $50. So each officer gave their $50 to this young girl, and she said, you know what, this is insane that they rewarded me with cash. I was just doing what I thought was the right thing to do.
Well, sometimes the right thing to do, not just the right thing to do, you get a little reward for it.
Exactly. Dennis Rodman, he wasn't doing the right thing. He actually had a run-in with cops after refusing to wear a mask on a recent JetBlue flight. So he was flying from LA to Fort Lauderdale on Monday morning, and apparently he was told over and over that he needed to put on his mask because there is a mask mandate on flights. And he would say, okay, I'll do that. He'd pull the mask up, but the second a flight attendant walked away, he would pull it right back down again. He was saying that he was having trouble breathing. Well, apparently they must have contacted officers because as soon as that flight landed, deputies were there to greet him as he walked off the plane. Nothing ended up happening. They did have a conversation, probably, about wearing masks on flights, and he was let to go. He walked away a free man.
Stay in the left lane.
Yeah, I don't care if you're an NBA Hall of Famer, the rules still apply to you,
They
buddy.
do. They definitely do. And this is pretty cool. So forget about the third spot. Spider-Man No Way Home now holds the title for the second biggest opening weekend ever, behind only Avengers Endgame. So this changed quickly. Those were just estimates we talked about yesterday when we said it held the third spot. So ticket sale totals came even higher than expected. It came in with $260 million over its opening weekend.
I think we need to recount.
Why do you think it's so popular? It's not the first Spider-Man movie, right? I mean, it's what is it, Greg?
Okay,
I mean,
Greg, I have no idea.
why this particular movie right now?
I think a lot of it's the timing. It's coming out of the pandemic. I think it's the most popular movie coming out of the pandemic.
And there's been some anticipation build up for it.
That's a good point because it's not just shattering like pandemic records, it's challenging movies, period, which is saying something.
And I think look, I want to see it. I saw the Black Widow in theaters over the summer. I would say that more quickly anticipated watching Spider-Man No Way Home. So I think that's a big part of it. By the way, do we know who they surpassed? Who was the previous number 2 that they surpassed?
It was the other Avengers.
Ooh, Infinity War.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Infinity War was number 2, and now it's Spider-Man No Way Home.
It's Heather with the news. Coming up next, one of the best parts of the Lions season. We got to use our inside voices. Hope nobody's been paying attention. Talk about it coming up next. It's 97.1.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Tuesday Night Football in LA, a 6.5 or 7-point home favorite against Seattle, total 45.5. Now, whether Seattle gets its stud wide receiver off the COVID list or not, still like Seattle in this game. Think Seattle is more back to the team it was at the beginning of the season before its starting quarterback got hurt. And if that's the case, and this is old Seattle, then I think this number's too high, even if Seattle is without its stud wide receiver. So a 7 for me is a definite bet on Seattle. 6.5, I like it as well. Once we get to 6 and 5.5, not a lot of interest. But currently, if the number's going to stay around here, I still like Seattle. Plus 6.5, plus 7 Tuesday night in LA. That's it for this Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Check out the latest lines today at BetRivers.com. I'm Nick Costos. Keep it locked here for more throughout the day. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. In this holiday season, Hall Financial is giving you the gift of free appraisals. Whether you're refinancing your current home or purchasing a new home, Hall Financial will cover the cost of your appraisal. With over 4,000 five-star reviews and the majority of our loans closing in 8 business days or less, you need to make Hall Financial your first call. Don't miss out on your chance at a free appraisal. Get started now at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us at callhallfirst.com.
Hall Financial, NMLS ID 1467435, Equal Housing Lender.
Mother Waddles to help those in need by donating your car. Your car donation to Mother Waddles will provide food and shelter to the poorest of the poor. Call Mother Waddles today and change a life. Call 313-WADDLES.
If you rely on buying a timeshare and worn out, you need my help. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started the timeshare cancellation industry by exposing the ugly truth about timeshare and giving folks some straight facts. I've been fighting the timeshare giants ever since, so no one knows this industry better than me and my team. Today, we have 383 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. If you were told in a timeshare presentation that this was available today and today only, the timeshare was a great investment, or your maintenance fees will never go up, call my office now. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-613-5454. 800-613-5454. 800-613-5454.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at Home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at Home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary. Participating dealers subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.
Want to hear how I almost got off the naughty list this year? I helped Santa save good savings by having him download Capital One Shopping to his computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. You can download it too and save a bundle. You don't even need a Capital One card, and it's free. So why didn't I get off the naughty list? Turns out Santa's a stickler for naughty words. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
This hour is feedback brought to you by Michael Hero of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
The Detroit Lions face the Atlanta Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Lions game day begins Sunday at 10. Live from the BetMGM Sports Lounge at MGM Grand Detroit on 97.1 The Tickets.
Saturday. Get your Christmas shopping done. Don't be a John Jansen and wait till the last second. It's very serious, too. I mean, this goes hard. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This lets you know Christmas is here. It's not no messing around with Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I imagine a conductor, like, furiously, like, bobbing his head and moving the stick, and, big shaggy head of hair just bobbing around everywhere. You hear this?
Get after it. You have to. Lions got after it this weekend. Certain validation for Dan Campbell. We'll hear from him coming up in an hour, 7:35. The Lions head coach joins us this morning. Here's some of his thoughts from that big win. The other big takeaway, John, is just how well they played on defense. And Aaron Glenn has been quietly doing a very nice job. When you look at 10 different defensive backs that have played this season, you look at the linebackers who are dropping like flies. Poor Alex Anzalone now done for the season. They've done this on the fly. Will Harris is playing out of position in corner. Hey, step in, play on the outside, figure it out against Kyler Murray. That was as impressive a performance as they've had all year defensively. In a year where they've done a nice job. And when those games start to happen, people start talking about Aaron Glenn as a future head coach in the NFL. And I want us to use inside voices because I don't want everybody else to recognize the job he's doing, because he will get interest to be a head coach. And John, it may be as early as this offseason. I know you want to look at some of the landscape and some potential openings. Do you see a fit for him?
Well, I think there's a number of things, because there's always a fit for a good coach. And if you just look at what he's been able to do this year, and you have to take it into context with the players that he is working with. So you look at the numbers in regards to, how many points per game is the defense giving up? And right now, the points per game is 26.1 points per game. Right? And
it's almost a full touchdown better than last year, for some context there.
So and that's what I was getting at, is that's part of the context. And I think if you look at the players available last
the destination is on your left.
versus this year,
56555 Pontiac Trail.
well, there was a better level of talent last year, so he's getting more production out of less talent. And you look at players like a Charles Harris, who now he wasn't on the roster last year, he is this year. He's playing at a much higher level. Somebody has to make the tackles, right? They're just not. Teams aren't just scoring on every single possession, on every single play. So somebody, and you look and you say, okay, well, what do his numbers mean? And he is getting more production out of a player like a Charles Harris, an A.J. Parker, a guy that was an undrafted player. And he is finding a way to improve upon a defense that was historically bad last year. You can say, well, there's no way to go but up, except for the fact that look at everything that he's left to deal with, and there just isn't great depth. And he's also finding a way to use players where they can be successful.
So Charles Harris is a really good example. This guy was a first-round pick. Pass rushers who go in the first round have some kind of athletic ability that hadn't been really utilized. He has more sacks this year than he had in his entire career coming into the season. He was, and I don't mean this in the wrong way, a cast-off.
Yeah, he was
in the first. He was a bust. And it was cast off, spare parts, out there for somebody to find. And Aaron Glenn has found him. It was one of the first big moves that this regime made, was bringing in Harris. Under the radar at the time, but big in hindsight. And A.J. Parker, undrafted corner. Jerry Jacobs, undrafted corner. The guy has done this with very little to work with. They need to overhaul the defense in the draft and the coming drafts, plural.
Sure.
But Glenn appears to be a really good coach.
And when you look at, let's just take, because you pulled up the snap counts before the show, and I if you still have those,
I can get them for you. I got them right here.
The way that he is using guys, and I talk about him using guys where they can be successful. He's putting players in position to be successful. Now, the first time that they played the Minnesota Vikings, we saw Derek Barnes, right? He was in position for success. Running back, he missed a tackle. Running back goes for 50 yards, and it's a touchdown. Ali McNeil, Levi Onwuzurike, the snap counts that they had this
7
past
a.m.
week, and we both believe, at least I think I would go into the assumption that in our conversations that they are playing better now than they were at the beginning of the year. That they're finding their way, they're playing well at times.
Right.